Good morning. We want to look at verses 12 and 13 this morning in Romans 7. So the law is holy, and the commandment is holy and righteous and good. A clear statement about the goodness of the law. So why all this hubbub about the law and sin? Verse 13. Did that which is good then bring death to me? If the law is good, is that producing death? Paul's already hit on this a bit, but I'm going to strike it a little deeper here before he makes a transition in verse 14. By no means. It was sin producing death in me through what is good, in order that sin might be shown to be sin, and through the commandment might become sinful beyond measure. So the law is good, sin is evil. Sin works through the law, and how does it work through the law? The law ends up exposing sin as sinful, because the law creates a standard in that way. And as he finishes there, he says, through the commandment might become sinful beyond measure. In other words, it's going to be absolutely apparent what sin is. The law makes clear what sin is, so there's no question about it. That's one of the things that makes the law good, is that it does that. Think of Psalm 19, 8 and 9. The precepts of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. Psalm 119, 137. Righteous are you, O Lord, and right are your rules. Don't misunderstand Paul as Paul's trying to not be misunderstood. Paul's trying to communicate that sin is what sits as the problem. The law is inadequate to deal with sin and do away with it, but that doesn't make the law bad, because it has a kind of diagnostic element. So the law is great as a diagnostic tool, as I've mentioned, but it doesn't work as a prescriptive tool. So the law is a good thing. Some people these days are talking about the law as though it's bad. There's almost no little place, it seems, in some teachers for any appeal to the Old Testament, hardly at all, especially not when it comes to ethics at all. And yet when you go back into the law, you see the character of God put on display. When you look at the 10 commandments, sometimes called the 10 sayings, you see the character of God put on display. That's a good thing. And an appeal to that is a good thing. And so we can appeal to that display and revelation of the character of God, recognizing that by ourselves we can't use the law as a tool to make us righteous, because our hearts aren't changed until we encounter the gospel. But the law itself, that coheres with the character of God and is good. So in that way we can rejoice in the law without loading the law in such a way that the law itself can save.